All right, so the Democratic National Convention is 1 week away, and the country is waiting to see who Joe Biden picks as his running mate. 11 vice presidential candidates have been vetted, but Congresswoman Maxine Waters says she is confident that Biden will pick a black woman. Take a look.
The way African American women have emerged in this country, showing that they're the most reliable part of the Democratic Party, I believe it is going to be an African American woman. I do.
Well, we do know it is a critical choice for the Biden campaign. Political contributor Tara Dowdell joins us this morning with a preview of the vice presidential pick. Sorry, I'm dealing with allergies today, so it's a little hard to get through some of this. But let's talk about what's at stake for the Biden campaign. Can this choice really secure Biden the black vote?
Well, I think Biden has an excellent relationship with the black community to begin with because they know him well. They feel like he's delivered on the promises that he made. He was part of the Obama administration. And what the black community really likes about Joe Biden is that when he was in the Obama administration, he was completely loyal to President Obama and stood by his side and had his back. And that means a lot within the black community, particularly amongst older voters who are a big proportion of that electorate.
All right, let's take a look at the two top contenders for Biden. We're talking about Senator Kamala Harris and former Obama National Security Advisor Susan Rice. So let's take a look at both of them, starting with Kamala Harris. What are the pros and cons for her?
Well, I think the obvious pro is her level of experience. I mean, she was an attorney general. She is a United States senator. She has a ton of experience, even before that, as a district attorney in San Francisco. So I think that's number one, her experience. Number two, she's been on the stage. She's been on the big stage along with Joe Biden. And not only has she been on the big stage as a presidential contender, but when she actually launched her campaign, she was a top contender for months. She raised a lot of money, and she withstood withering criticism that many women face when they run for office. She was able to withstand it for a very long time, considering the level of that criticism that comes at women candidates. And she did well. She ran a good campaign. She didn't make it, but she ran a solid campaign for a long time.
Indeed, and she had a lot of really good remarks during those debates that people really stood up and took notice of her. Let's talk about Susan Rice for a second, because she was a former national security advisor. She was UN ambassador. She has a lot of experience on that level, but not on the elected level. What makes her a strong contender?
I think what makes her a strong contender, number one, is a very practical thing. She's very good friends with Joe Biden. So she's had a long-standing relationship with him, a positive relationship with him. And in politics, that goes a long way. She's well respected when it comes to foreign policy. She has a ton of experience in foreign policy, even before her work in the Obama administration. So I think that makes her a strong contender. I mean, the good news for Democrats, despite this long period of who's going to be the pick, is that there are a ton of experienced candidates out there, candidates for vice president out there. So this is a good thing.
With Rice, though, is Biden going to have to spend part of this campaign trying to relitigate Benghazi?
Well, look, at the end of the day, the Republicans are going to throw anything and everything at whoever the vice presidential candidate will be. Some will be fact, some will be fiction. I would argue that Benghazi is fiction because look at some of the Trump has had 12 Benghazis, right? So I think Democrats will counter with those Benghazis that President Trump has had within, early in his administration, and the Russian bounty right now that's going on. We know that there's all this intelligence reporting from the intelligence community about Russia putting a bounty on the head of U.S. soldiers. So I think Democrats will counter with the fact that he's done nothing to address his own Benghazis.
All right, Tara, as always, we appreciate your insight. Thanks for joining us today.